Hey, we have Cp3 all disassembled. We're gonna play a little game of finding why this thing is so much better. I've been saying it for a while now, people want to know why. Well, we're gonna see. It's pretty graphic. So we got two dead pumps and the rotor. So we're gonna start with the buckets. How the thing works, okay, see, I'm just gonna be giving you a slight rundown. You got a bucket. This thing's supposed to be full, okay? The whole pump it ran and it destroyed the whole buckets because with air in the system, the pump is unable to build any residual pressure to lube itself up, and it's gonna run basically metal against metal. So you got this bucket which is usually flat, and this thing drops in there. This is the piston, and then you got a spring, and all this thing fits inside the bore here, right in there. So that the piston goes in there and compresses the fuel, and it comes out here or there, whatever. I don't recall which is which. So that's how it runs, and there's three of them all the way around this little guy here. Okay. So first thing first, you got a bucket here. It's steel. Okay. And we got another bucket here for the Cp4. It is steel, but this one runs into a aluminum housing, which you can even feel after 100,000 kilometers. You can feel a huge ridge, which is worn out. But yeah, this pump failed. Maybe why it failed. Maybe it's because it failed. It caused that. But I mean, that's already one thing that's better. So let's do this. Cp3, Cp4. Cp3, it has a steel bore, and the Cp4 has an aluminum bore. That's one difference right there. Okay, now these are the buckets. This is what rides on that cam here. Okay, and this is the bucket, which has this little guy here, little roller, not even a bearing, just a roller, and we got that thing here. Okay, I'm doing this will be pretty clear. Let's see a surface area. This guy has three buckets like that. It has a I think it's roughly 10 or 12 millimeter pad around. You can look up the picture. I'm gonna post a picture of what it should like, what it looks like now is pretty hard to tell, but it's damaged. Yeah, there's three of them around here. That's the surface area. Okay, so it's flat surface, easily calculatable. Okay, and this guy has a thin little line. And if you have a Duramax, it's got two of these because it's got two pistons in a Cp4 for a Duramax versus a Volkswagen Jetta. And there you go. That's the surface area. And that's what you get times the length of that. So just a dot. Okay, basically just a thin line. And yeah, that's one thing. Low surface area. Let's call it that. High surface area for the Cp3. But you think it's much smaller, right? But that's just the tip of the iceberg. This thing has three surface area instead of only two or one. Let's compare it apple to apple. It's got two of them, so it's got only two surface area. So it's the same. It's the same thing. I mean, I will just leave it at that. And okay, this. Now the travel on that surface area, this turns 360 degrees, so it keeps rubbing on that thing, and it turns, and eventually it just turns sideways and starts just messing everything up, but that's not editing. So this it turns 360 degrees, so there's much more travel on the same surface area. So there's lots of travel. Lots of travel equal lots of wear. At least more wear on the other one. And you'll see, I'll write it right now. Minimal travel. And you'll see why. Oh, camera's gonna need some batteries now. Look at this thing. It's made like that for a reason. This is what moves. You see? This triangle doesn't move, doesn't turn all the way around and makes the bucket rub. It stays like that, and what it does, that's all it does. So all the pistons are doing are sliding back and forth here on their huge surface area. So that's why I'm writing minimum travel. It doesn't travel the whole cam, it just travels sideways like that. That's all it does, because when it turns, of course it's going to move. You see? It moves back and forth, but that's it. Versus rolling around on the roller cam here. So that's the turn one. I'm going to charge the camera, I'll be back. On there, I mean, steel bore, aluminum bore, high surface, low surface area. It's got minimum travel, as well as a lot of travel. So everything here on the Cp4 seems to be made so that it's not a stout. It's kind of a, I mean, they probably had to think about these things and find some ways to not make it last as long. I mean, because diesel pump, it pumps a heavy fuel, rather we'll call it heavy, but it pumps a heavy fuel. You make subpar component. You're not even careful to make sure that the piece that needs to be oriented stay oriented. So it's crap. It's visually crap. I mean, any engineer that can look at this will know it right away. I mean, this pump is so much better. Cp3 is so much better. This thing is just the newer stuff they put in, and it's been crap, and it's been so much crap that GM stopped using them. So look that up. 2015, they ditched these. They ditched these things with two piston, the Cp4 with about a double Cp4, and in 2017 they ditched those, and maybe they called Isuzu and they called, hey guys, what guys are using, and it just went back to Nippo Denso with the HP4 pump, which is, would you know it, another one of these, the same kind of design as these, because this works and this doesn't. So thanks for watching, and talk to you later, guys.